Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight for 23 ABC News at 6. I'm Jessica Harrington. Tonight's top stories. Law enforcement agencies conducting a gang violence enforcement operation targeting what law enforcement calls one of the oldest and most violent gangs in Kern County. Details on the gang sweep held today. And a local service ministry asking the community for help after they say rain and hail flooded their sanctuary last week, which could impact their annual Christmas program. Allison?
And blustery winds were the story today across Kern County. I'll let you know just how much longer you can expect these conditions when 23 ABC News at 6 starts right now.
Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 6 starts now.
Good evening. It's an operation that has been long in the making. A massive gang sweep launched right here in Bakersfield this morning. The Bakersfield Police Department led hundreds of officials from local, state, and federal agencies to arrest violent gang members in our community. Our cameras were rolling during a series of gang busts this morning. 23 ABC's Bayan Wang joins us in studio with more.
Yeah, Jessica, this was a very carefully planned out operation. It was something that they've been planning for several months, according to officials, because they were targeting the Country Boy Crips, one of Bakersfield's most dangerous gangs, according to officials. Today, authorities executed the bust in full force, and we were right there with them.
Exit through the front door with your hands in the air.
Over 20 Country Boy Crips were arrested right here in Bakersfield and in county pockets. About 5 were arrested in other states, totaling 35 overall members taken into custody since the investigation began in September. 4 of those members are being charged with attempted homicide, while the remainder are accused for various crimes, including burglary, theft, possession, and sale of narcotics.
Over the last 3 years, the Country Boy Crips have either been victims or suspects in over 56 shootings in our community.
For just a second, if you could digest 56 shootings since 2016, that's 2 a month.
Over a dozen guns were seized and illegal theft and retail ring was disrupted. And in recent weeks, multiple shootings were prevented, according to BPD. And officials wanted to make it clear that this isn't just a one-time gang sweep. They said there will be several others, as many needed really to keep the community safe. In studio, Bayan Wang, 23 ABC, connecting you.
New details tonight. The Community Action Partnership of Kern has been selected to be the sole operator of the county's new emergency homeless shelter. During today's meeting, the Board of Supervisors unanimously approved Cap K as the operator of the facility to be located at 2731 O Street. They also authorized the County Administrative Office to negotiate an agreement with the organization. The board and county officials credited Cap K for its more than 50 years of experience as the official anti-poverty agency in the county and its work to serve more than 100,000 low-income people as well as the homeless. Cap K Chief Executive Officer Jeremy Tobias said at the meeting that the organization is excited to work with the county on the project.
Operating this low-barrier shelter is a natural step forward for Cap K. This shelter will serve the homeless who face some of the biggest barriers to finding shelter: addictions, mental health challenges, companions, and pets. We've all heard those terms. As we all know, homelessness is a growing crisis here in Kern County. We must find new ways to help human beings get into homes. I believe this is a good step forward in that direction.
The county will bring a final agreement to the board for consideration on January 7th. At the meeting, the board also approved funds to cover the more than $730,000 needed for initial operating expenses and startup costs for the shelter. These expenses include bed frames, mattresses, pillows, trash bins, laundry equipment, and office supplies. The expenses will be paid for through the Building Homes and Job Act. And the Board of Supervisors also approved 6 grants, with majority of funds going toward existing local homeless shelters. Officials say the board approved a grand total of $361,061 in response to the homeless crisis. About 2/3 of the amount will go toward the Bakersfield Homeless Center, equating to about $203,000. About $92,000 will be distributed to the mission at Kern County. And finally, about $65 will be given to the Emergency Grant Street Outreach Organization. Senator Dianne Feinstein announced today that $10.5 million in grants from the Housing and Urban Development's Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing Program will be awarded to California programs that give homeless veterans access to supportive housing. According to the grants, the Bakersfield Housing Authority here in Kern County is set to get about $112,000 of that funding. The Blessing Corner Ministry in Central Bakersfield is asking the community for help after they say a storm flooded the local nonprofit sanctuary, impacting their annual Christmas extravaganza. 23 ABC's Josh Sanders joins us in studio with more. Josh?
Good evening, Jessica. This year marks the 20th annual Christmas extravaganza for Blessing Corner. For 2 decades, the ministry has opened their doors on Christmas Day for those that have nowhere else to go. This year, however, ministry officials say their main sanctuary was flooded after that rain and hailstorm on December 8th. They say the storm clogged the building's rain gutters, causing water to back up and pour into the sanctuary. You can see in this video water damage on the ceiling and floor. Executive Director Bonnie Turner recognizes what the Christmas Day extravaganza has meant to the homeless and families in need over the past 19 years and is asking for the community's help not to let the damage ruin this year's event.
We do the same thing every year. You will see people sitting around tables, having a festive old time, Christmas decor in the background. And you know, as you can see, there's not that now. And I know with all our hands coupled together, we can make this happen. It's not for us, it's for those that need help. We have been giving up our Christmas Day for the last 20 years. And I'm not complaining about that, but we really need help this time.
Turner says Blessing Corner could use a team of volunteers as soon as possible to help get the area together. While the ministry waits for their insurance to repair the ceiling and floors, they also need help wrapping gifts and preparing care packages for seniors, veterans, and the homeless. Coming up at 11, we will have more on how you can help. Until then, you can reach out to help Blessing Corner by calling 477-6028 or heading to our website at turn23.com. In studio, Josh Sanders, 23 ABC, connecting you.
Meanwhile, in case you didn't notice, it has been very windy today. In other parts of the state, that wind causing wrecks and trucks to overturn on roads. This was what we could see outside our station. Strong gusts blowing and moving trees. And the local CHP even posted on social media for drivers to be cautious when traveling over the Grapevine. Wow, that wind really whipping up those leaves. 23 ABC's meteorologist Allison Gargaro joins us now with a look at our forecast and just how long these winds are going to last. Allison.
Well, they will be lasting at least into the evening hours. But right now I can hear some of that wind blowing into our studio, or at least onto the roof this afternoon. But if you did see that video from the CHP office at Fort Tejon, there was some blowing dust in the areas near the Grapevine, because that's where we are seeing some of these strongest winds, that red color that you are seeing on your screen. But 26 mile-per-hour winds here in Bakersfield right now. But some of the strongest gusts so far today, we're down near Lebec at 73 miles per hour, and the strongest gusts here in Bakersfield at 51. So these winds will be continuing into the evening hours tonight. That wind advisory will be extended and expiring at 11 p.m. this evening. So you can expect those winds to slowly be decreasing, but those temperatures going to be cooling down quickly. 39 will be our overnight low here in Bakersfield, and tomorrow a high of 60 degrees as the system passes through our north. So we are going to be tracking relatively mild conditions, but warming temperatures are on the way as we head into the rest of the work week and into the weekend. I'll let you know what that means for your air quality tomorrow, coming up next.
The Bakersfield Police Department is searching for a woman they say shoplifted at the Sportswear Mart on Ming Avenue. According to BPD, the incident happened on November 18th. Officials have described the suspect as a black woman in her 30s, medium build, black hair in a bun, wearing a brown shirt with white horizontal stripes, tan capri pants, and a black Adidas baseball cap. Anyone with information regarding the case is asked to call BPD at 327-7111. New developments tonight. 2 men have been arrested in connection to a shooting that took place in Wasco Saturday. According to the Kern County Sheriff's Office, on Saturday, deputies were dispatched to the 700 block of Griffith Avenue, where they found a 33-year-old man suffering from a gunshot wound. The victim was transported to Kern Medical by helicopter and is currently in stable condition. On Monday at around 6 p.m., deputies arrested 27-year-old Juan Casillas of Wasco and 35-year-old Maria Ramirez of McFarland in connection to the shooting. They face charges of attempted murder, robbery, and conspiracy. The investigation is ongoing. Anyone with information is asked to call KCSO at 861-3110. Still to come here on 23 ABC News at 6, a nonprofit organization helping local first graders experience the wonder of Christmas. More on the Jingle Bell Club. Allison?
And Kern County will be dry and a bit cooler tomorrow with warming temperatures by Thursday through the weekend. But when we will be seeing our next rain event. That's all coming up next.
Welcome back. Uber has beaten back a bid to change how it classifies California drivers. For now, the rideshare company can still classify its drivers as independent contractors instead of employees. But the judge's ruling leaves open the possibility that the long-running fight could come up again next year when a new law takes effect in California. The partnership between Oprah Winfrey and Weight Watchers marches on. The media mogul has extended her partnership with Weight Watchers, which is now known as WW, for another 5 years. She joined WW's board in October 2015 and bought a 10% stake in the company worth $43 million. Winfrey has helped guide WW's name change and evolution of the brand from a diet company to a health and wellness brand. The shares have soared nearly 500% since she joined. For the 5th time in 6 years, the Professional Bull Riders Pendleton Whiskey Velocity Tour is riding into Bakersfield. In what organizers call the world's most athletic bulls, it's a showdown for one night only at Mechanics Bank Arena on April 4th, 2020. Riders will compete for more than $10,000 in prize money. Tickets are available now and start at $15. They can be purchased online or at the Mechanics Bank Arena box office. Today, a local nonprofit brought some early Christmas joy to more than 500 local students here in Kern County. It was the 14th year the Jingle Bell Club has put on the event, and students from Beardsley, College Heights, DeGiorgio, and Lamont Elementary Schools all arrived at Lloyd's Aviation at the Meadowsfield Airport for a Christmas celebration. They received Christmas packs, which include one personalized stocking, one pair of shoes sized just for them, one toy, and one sweatshirt. They also had pictures taken with Santa, as you can see there. Organizers say it's an event they work on all year.
Look, we work on this all year. There are a small group who actually take care of hours and hours of work, especially for the shoes and the stockings, fundraising. But yes, it's something we'll start working on in about 3 weeks from now for next year.
Patel started the Jingle Bell Club to bring the magic of Christmas to local first graders. Love that. Well, if you are already thinking about how you might get rid of your Christmas tree after the holiday, Bakersfield College has the answer. Christmas trees will again be recycled in the southwest corner of Haley Street and University. The event is in cooperation with the city of Bakersfield and is in its 30th year. Last year, more than 7,000 trees were collected and disposed of by the city of Bakersfield from this lot. They'll be recycling trees from December 26th until January 17th. Well, Christmas will come a little early for students at the Harvey L. Hall Child Development Center. Tomorrow morning, Santa Claus will visit each classroom at the center, passing out toys and blankets to children. Later in the day, Hall ambulance employees will transform the school's courtyard into a winter wonderland. The children and their families will be able to enjoy holiday refreshments, have fun with Siren the rescue dog, and take pictures with Santa Claus. Santa's deliveries will start at 9 a.m. and the winter wonderland begins at 4:30 p.m. Also happening tomorrow, a local supervisor will be passing out warm clothes for residents in Wasco. It's the second year Supervisor David Couch is hosting the Warm Clothes Drive. It'll be taking place at Barker Park in Wasco. Gently used clothes will be distributed to those in need tomorrow from noon until 2 o'clock. If you'd like to still donate, you can call his office at 868-3680. All right, let's send things over to 23 ABC's meteorologist Allison Gargaro tracking those winds outside and those temperatures. As you mentioned earlier, it felt comfortable, just windy.
Yeah, it was definitely very windy, especially through the mountain passes and down into the foothills. But that wind was coming from the east, so that's dry desert and warm air making its way into Bakersfield. That's why temperatures felt not too bad today. We were well above seasonal, actually 9 degrees above average with a high of 65. And if you can believe it, that's 12 degrees above what we were feeling this time yesterday here in Bakersfield, and mostly warmer temperatures where we were seeing those strong winds through the mountains and for us here in the valley. So again, that was coming from the east, but we are seeing an increase in clouds from the west as our next storm system is slowly going to be pushing on shore. We're still going to be seeing an increase in those winds by the early morning hours tomorrow, but then you can see all of that air is making its way in from the northwest. That's because this system is going to be bringing some rain and even snow to the Pacific Northwest northwest, but it looks like most of that moisture is going to be staying to the northern portion of the state. For us here in central and southern California, going to be looking at those very dry conditions, but this trough is going to be digging down. So that means those temperatures won't be quite as warm as what we were feeling today for your Wednesday, but it's slowly warming as we head into the weekend. As for air quality, it is going to be back to the lower end of the moderate range. We were seeing some blowing dust, especially in areas through the mountain passes. If you were checking out the CHP Fort Tejon, their Facebook page, you could see some of that blowing dust. So again, in the moderate range, and there is going to be no burning unless with a registered device. But let's talk about those temperatures. Still a relatively chilly and cloudy morning, 44 degrees by 8 a.m. At noon, up to those upper 50s, and it looks like we're going to be topping off right around that 60-degree mark, again above average. As we head into your Wednesday, that trend is only going to continue through the weekend, up to 67 degrees by Saturday. We will be seeing an increase in clouds ahead of our next storm system moving in late Sunday. Throughout the day on Monday, tracking that 40% chance of rain for us here in Bakersfield. Looks like those showers could be continuing on Tuesday, and Christmas is in our long range forecast. Again, it is more than a week away, so right now tracking that 30% chance of rain with those temperatures in the mid 50s, but that could all be changing as we get closer. So something that we will be keeping an eye on. But if you are traveling for the holidays this upcoming weekend, just keep in mind the chance for that rain, potentially wet roads on your way to your destination. As for tomorrow in the Kern River Valley, a high of 53 degrees, in those mid 40s in Tehachapi and Fraser Park. But those skies will be clearing by Thursday and warming up. So feeling maybe a little bit more like fall to start the first official day of winter on Saturday. But then that winter weather is ahead for the holiday week.
Just in time. It's like it knew that it was going to be the first official day. Wow.
Weird. Yeah.
Then it shows up. All right. Well, still ahead. He's the breakout star from the latest Star Wars TV series, Baby Yoda, and mania over him continues to take hold. Check out the latest